Hello and welcome to my channel, Boo Snakes and More. For more videos like this, also watch my other house channel, A&A Snakes and Stuff. My youngest son's channel, He Needs Toys and Games, or my oldest son's channel, Little Chris 10. Today we're going to be talking about leopard geckos, so let's dive in. Leopard gecko species overview. Sociable and easy to handle, leopard geckos make excellent pets for a beginner reptile hobbyist. Due to their gentle disposition, leopard geckos are native to semi-arid desert environments in the Middle East and parts of northern India. The scientific name for the leopard gecko's genus, Eclabius, is derived from the Greek words for good and eyelid. Unlike many gecko species, leopard geckos have functional eyelids. In fact, they can blink and even close their eyes while sleeping. Leopard geckos use their tails to store fat and nutrients as an emergency energy source, and they can detach their tail if they're caught by a predator. Their tail will grow within about 30 days, but the new tail will not look the same as the original. Never grab or pick up a leopard gecko by their tail. Leopard geckos are capsational, most active at dawn and dusk, so pet parents will often find them hiding under rocks or burrowed under substrate during the day. Most leopard geckos shed every 4 to 8 weeks. After a shed cycle, leopard geckos will often eat their shed skin to regain some of its newts. Before shedding their skin, leopard geckos turn a whitish-gray color. Unlike snakes, geckos shed their skin in pieces and commonly retain unshed skin over their eyes and toes. When this happens, they should be soaked in shallow warm water to increase their hydration to encourage shedding. All reptiles are potential carriers of infectious diseases, including Salmonella bacteria, which is zoonotic, transmissible to humans. Anyways, wash your hands before and after handling your leopard gecko or their habitat's contents. Leopard gecko characteristics: difficulty of care, beginner, average lifespan up to 10 to 20 years with proper care. Average adult size 6 to 9 inches long. Diet insectivore. Minimum habitat size 10 gallons for juveniles, 20 gallons plus for adults. Leopard gecko supply checklist. To keep a leopard gecko happy and healthy, pet parents should have these basic supplies on hand: appropriately sized habitat, substrate, water and mealworm dishes, climbing decor, plants, heat light, heat fixture, under tank heater, thermostat, multivitamin supplement, calcium supplement with or without vitamin D3, cricket keeper, cricket food, cricket quencher, thermometer, hydrometry gauge, sphagnum moss, UV light fixture, hideout box, plant mister. Leopard gecko habitat. Choosing the right enclosure. Start juvenile leopard geckos in a tank that's at least 10 gallons. You must increase the size of your leopard gecko's habitat to accommodate their growth as they mature. All enclosures should have a screen lid to allow for proper ventilation and prevent escape. Leopard geckos enter adulthood within 1 to 2 years. A single adult leopard gecko should be housed in a tank that's 20 gallons or larger. If the pet parent is interested in housing multiple leopard geckos in the same habitat, they'll need to buy a larger tank To accommodate, always provide the largest habitat possible. Recommended products: tanks for juvenile leopard gecko 10 plus gallons. Reptizoo tempered glass front opening with double hinge door. Terrarium 18 gallon. Orbi glass reptile tank terrarium 15 gallon. Reptizoo knockdown double top cover glass terrarium 18 gallon. Tanks for adult leopard geckos 20 plus gallons. Reptizoo tempered glass front opening with double hinge door. Terrarium 32 gallon. Orbi 4 glass front opening reptile terrarium 24 gallon. Trixie glass reptile terrarium 34 gallon. Setting up your habitat. When introducing geckos to each other, they should be monitored to ensure they are compatible. Since male leopard geckos tend to fight with each other, male geckos should not be housed together, nor should they be kept in the same habitat as males of another reptile species. Female leopard geckos of the same size can usually be raised in the same habitat, but if one of the females is larger than the other, it can cause stress and competition for the smaller gecko. Opposite sex leopard geckos should not be kept in the same habitat unless the parent wants them to breed. Temperature. Leopard geckos need a thermogriddle in which they're enclosed in their enclosure so they can stay warm, so they can warm up and cool down as needed. The recommended temperature for the warm end of a leopard gecko's habitat is 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, while the cooler end should be kept at 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Check the temperatures of your leopard gecko's habitat daily. 2 thermometers, one in the warm area and one in the cool area, should be placed in the enclosure so that both zones can be checked at once. A digital point and shoot thermometer can also be used to read habitat temperatures instantaneously. Recommended products: Exoterra LED reptile thermometer, ZoomEd digital thermometer, ZoomEd Repti temp, digital infrared thermometer, lighting and heat support. Like all reptiles, leopard geckos are athermatic, meaning they rely on external heat sources to regulate their body temperature. An incandescent light, ceramic bulb, or under tank heater should be used to create a basking area in a leopard gecko's habitat. Hot rocks should not be used because they can get too warm and cause injury. Undertake heating pads must be controlled with a thermostat to keep the habitat's temperature within a safe range and prevent the gecko from getting burned. Note: some light bulbs provide not only light to the tank but also heat and or ultraviolet UV light. Pet parents should check the light sources they are considering to understand their function within the tank before adding it in. Recommended products: light fixtures and hoods. ZoomEd Repticent Reptile Terrarium Hood. ZoomEd Repticent T5 HO Reptile Terrarium Hood. Flisker's clamp light with dimmer. Heat support. Zula Heat Mats Reptile Terrarium Heater 4-watt. Frisker's 60-watt ceramic reptile heat emitter. Frisker's Ultra Deluxe Premium Heat Mat. Small. Must be paired with a thermostat, such as the ZoomEd ReptiTemp Digital Reptile Terrarium Thermostat. UV light. Leopard geckos also need UVB light to help them metabolize vitamin D, absorb calcium, and to stay healthy and stimulated. Leopard geckos need about 10 to 12 hours of UV light daily. Replace bulbs every 6 hours. even if they still emit light, as their potency wanes over time. Recommended product: UV light emitters, ZoomEd ReptiSun 5.0 UVV compact fluorescent mini reptile lamp 13 watt, Zella Desert Series T8 fluorescent reptile terrarium lamp 15 watt. Humidity: leopard geckos are native to the desert, but they still need some humidity in their environment to support skin and respiratory health. The ideal humidity range for leopard gecko's habitat is under 50%. A hydrometer humidity gauge should be used to measure the enclosure's humidity. Recommended products: Exoterra LED Reptile Homodulator, Frischker's Thermomodulator Digital, Frischker's Relative Humidity Homodulator. Substrate or reptile carpet should line the bottom of a leopard gecko's habitat. Gravel, wood chips, and walnut shells are not recommended materials for substrate, as they are abrasive to a gecko's delicate skin. If the pet parent chooses to use a loose substrate, such as sand, in the leopard gecko's enclosure, they should be sure to feed the lizard in a dish or feeding tank. Loose substrate is less digestible and can lead to fatal gastrointestinal obstruction if ingested. Recommended products: Exoterra Sand Matte Desert Terrarium Reptile Substrate, ZoomEd Eco Reptile Carpet, Galapagos Bioactive Soil Topsoil Substrate Reptile Bedding, Frisco Unscented Non-Clumping Recycled Paper Cat Litter 25-pound bag, decor and accessories: food dishes. Rather than being placed on the habitat floor, food should be offered in a shallow dish or feeding tank to lessen the chance of the gecko accidentally ingesting the tank substrate. Worm dishes are designed to keep wiggling live prey in one area. Recommended products: Exoterra Mealworm Feeding Dish, Exoterra Cricket Feeder, Stradutus Leopard Gecko's Calcium Dish. Hiding area: leopard geckos need 2 hiding areas, one on the cool end of their enclosure and one on the warm end of their enclosure. Aside from offering privacy and security, hideouts allow leopard geckos to have a space away from their enclosure's direct basking area. Always monitor your geckos to ensure that they are not spending all of their time hiding and not getting the benefits of UV light. Climbing branches and basking rock. Pet parents must add a basking rock or study branch to the leopard gecko's habitat so they can climb and bask as needed. Basking branches must be large and sturdy, enough to support the leopard gecko's body. Otherwise, the branch could topple over and potentially cause injury. Moss. Moist battering moss can be added to the inside of a hideout box on the warm side of the leopard gecko's enclosure to create a humidity hide moss hides moisture well, holds moisture well, and can aid in healthy shedding. Pet parents can create a humidity hide by using a commercially available hideout box or by cutting a hole in a plastic container. If choosing to make a DIY hideout, make sure that the hole doesn't have any rough edges that could injure the gecko. Moss should be replaced often to prevent mold from forming. Plants: adding non-toxic live plants to a leopard gecko's enclosure can help increase the habitat's humidity level and enrich the overall environment. Leopard gecko cleaning and maintenance. Spot clean your leopard gecko's habitat daily, removing any sorted material and discarded food. Water and food bowls must be washed daily. A leopard gecko's habitat must be disinfected and cleaned thoroughly at least once a week, or more often if more than one gecko lives in the same habitat. Always wash your hands before and after handling your leopard gecko or the habitat's contents. To clean a leopard gecko's habitat, take these steps. 1. Move the leopard gecko to a secure environment. Remove any old substrate, decor, and accessories from the habitat. 2. Scrub the empty tank and any furnishings with a reptile habitat cleaner or 3% bleach solution. The bleach solution should stay on the habitat for at least 10 minutes to ensure that the surfaces are properly disinfected. If using a commercial habitat cleaner, follow the manufacturer's instructions. Rinse the habitat and accessories thoroughly with water, making sure to remove any trace amounts or residential smells left by the cleaning agent or bleach solution. Allow the habitat and its contents to dry completely before placing new substrate and clean accessories into the tank. Return the leopard gecko to the clean habitat. Leopard gecko diet and nutrition. Leopard geckos feed on insects. Insects, ideally parents should offer live, gut-loaded, recently fed insects instead of freeze-dried ones. Live insects are more nutritious and geckos can enjoy some exercise while they chase and hunt live prey. Leopard geckos should always have access to fresh, clean water. A nutritious and wear-balanced leopard gecko diet consists of gut-loaded, recently fed insects including roaches, crickets, roaches, mealworms, superworms, hornworms, calico worms, waxworms. Your leopard geckos should be fed daily, while your dogs can be fed every other day. Only 1 or 2 insects should be offered at a time, and you should watch your geckos during feeding sessions to ensure that no insect goes uneaten. Live uneaten insects can injure a leopard gecko and should not be left in their habitat. Butterworms, waxworms, and superworms are all high in fat and should only be fed as an occasional treat. Pet parents should vary the leopard gecko's diet by feeding them several types of insects. Any insects fed should be no bigger than the space between the gecko's eyes. Recommended products: vitamin supplement every other day. Pet parents need to dust their leopard gecko's insects with a powdered supplement. Leopard geckos need 3 vitamin supplements in their diet: a calcium supplement with vitamin D, a calcium supplement without vitamin D, and a multivitamin powder designed for reptiles. Pet parents should alternate between the 2 types of calcium supplements. If a leopard gecko's insects were dusted in a calcium supplement with vitamin D for their last feeding session, then a calcium supplement without vitamin D should be used next. A multivitamin powder should be used once or twice a week. To dust insects quickly and effectively, place insects in a bag or disposable plastic container along with a powdered supplement. Then shake the bag lightly until the insects are coated evenly in powder. Fresh, clean water should always be available and replaced daily. Water dishes should be large enough for the gecko to soak in if needed. Do not offer fruit or vegetables to a leopard gecko, as their bodies are not designed to digest them. Leopard gecko feeding guidelines: before being fed to a gecko, live insects must be gut loaded with a nutrient-dense insect supplement to improve Their nutritional value: gut-loading diets are fortified with vitamins and minerals to help provide optimum nutrition for the reptiles that feed on them. Leopard gecko grooming and care. Shedding: most leopard geckos shed every 4 to 8 weeks. To aid in shedding, leopard geckos should have access to a humid hide filled with moistened sphagnum moss or substrate. If left in a habitat that's too dry, leopard geckos are an increased risk of keeping shed skin around their eyes and toes. Eventually, the retained shed may cut off blood circulation to the gecko's toes or cover their eyes, preventing them from seeing the insects they eat. You can soak your leopard gecko in a large, shallow container of warm water to help them shed their skin more easily. The water container should be wide enough to allow the lizard to submerge their entire body while keeping their head above water. Leopard geckos cannot swim and need to be supervised closely while soaking. They will eat their shed skin to regain some of its newts. Although leopard geckos are generally tolerant of handling, frequent or improper handling can cause them to become stressed, especially if a lizard is young or shedding. Leopard geckos should not be handled regularly until they're at least 6 inches long. Pet parents should be sure to allow their newly homed leopard gecko at least a few days to acclimate to their environment before trying to handle them, and handling time should be minimized while the lizard is shedding. Leopard gecko veterinary care and/or care. Leopard geckos should be seen by a veterinarian once annually. They can be transported using an appropriately sized Tupperware container with air holes and a traction surface on the bottom. It is recommended to take pictures of their enclosure, diet, heaters, and lights, including exact specifications from the packaging, so your veterinarian can assess their overall care as part of the exam. Signs of a healthy leopard gecko: clean, clear eyes, clean ears with no local swelling, intact skin with no ulcerations or stuck shed, good appetite, bright alert personality, clean vent, no swellings or bumps, appropriate basking behavior, good body condition, score/weight, when to call a vet: eyes are swollen, sunken, stuck shut, or have discharge, swellings around ears, pink ulcerations or other lesions are seen on the skin, especially the nose, refusing food, failing to bath, lethargy, discharge around vent, lumps or bumps, cannot abbreviate or position or posture appropriately, belly appears sunken, shed is stuck, especially around the toes, and extra especially veneer swollen, rapid loss of muscles throughout back and tail. Common illnesses in leopard geckos: metabolic bone disease, hippopotamus A, dactylosis, stuck shed, especially the toes, intestinal parasites, GI impactions, disabilities, stuck eggs, eye infections and ulcerations, stuck toe disease, skin infections, trauma. Leopard gecko FAQs: is a leopard gecko a good pet? Leopard geckos make great pets and are a common choice for beginners to reptile care. Are leopard geckos easy to keep alive? Maintaining good health in a leopard gecko requires very specific care items that provide important nutrients and can maintain adequate humidity and temperature levels. Once their diet and enclosure are set up, Appropriately daily upkeep for leopard geckos is very easy. Do leopard geckos need a big tank? Leopard geckos don't need a big tank. 20-gallon tanks are enough, though they can enjoy a larger tank when available and outfitted well. Do leopard geckos like to be left alone? Leopard geckos aren't particularly cuddly and are most comfortable when doing their own thing. A well-socialized leopard gecko that is handled regularly usually doesn't mind being held and may enjoy changes in scenery, moving around a room or your home. Should I hold my leopard gecko every day? Thank you for watching this video and peace out to the next one.